It's been a very good year for me so far, and I think definitely the highlight would be winning my first tour title, and definitely doing so in Johannesburg made it that little bit more special. It was a really fun week for me, just being home and playing with a lot of friends and family watching. But Miami was another really good week for me. It's always I always enjoy playing in Miami, and this year I had some tough matches, and I thought I was playing really well. And even against Djokovic, I think I just had one or two chances, and obviously there's a big leap between having chances and actually capitalizing on them, and then still actually going through and beating a guy like him. But I think there's a lot of positives I could I did take from that match, and he's had a fantastic year, obviously being unbeaten. But definitely looking forward to hopefully a rematch at some point in the future. I've played the Nadal, Murray's, Davydenko and Djokovic a couple times, and going out there, it's great. I mean, you're testing yourself against the best player in the world, and you can really see where you're at. I mean, obviously you're competing, you're trying to get there as well, and I thought I did a pretty good job of staying somewhat composed. I think my execution wasn't exactly how I'd wanted it. Obviously it's always going to be tough, but for me it was a very exciting match. When I was 17, I had to make the decision to go either pro, or the next best option for me was going to American universities, and it happened to be University of Illinois. And for me it was a great decision. South Africa is just too far to base yourself out of, going back, and I needed somewhere to base myself, and the States is a great place. I mean, I think next to Europe, it's you can almost live the whole year in the States, and I needed a little bit more time to develop. I think I didn't have the same exposure as a lot of other people my age group, sort of younger and older, of competing against the best players in the world. And I think playing during the summer, I go to play some pro tournaments, and it even took me my first year. I felt really a lot of benefit the 2.5 years I'd spent at Illinois, just getting stronger, and also I think my game got a lot better as well. We don't have any clay courts in South Africa, so coming on the tour, it definitely takes some adjustments, and I think for me it just takes me a little longer to really sort of start to get comfortable. And I think the surface itself, I really enjoy playing on it. The ball sits up nicely, which I like. It's just really that confidence of changing direction, getting to balls, and there is certain subtle differences. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the tour is on clay, so it's something that I will look to improve on. There's a few differences playing on clay as opposed to the hard court that I'm used to. For me, definitely the grip, the first step, being able to push off in either direction. It's just that fraction slow on the clay. Your grip isn't as good. Definitely the wide balls. I think especially these days, the guys are moving so well on hard courts that the ability to be on a dead run, hitting either a wide forehand or backhand, turning on a dime and getting back. Whereas with clay, it's sliding. You got to time the slide, and then hitting while sliding at the same time, having enough force being generated while your body's going in one direction. So that's a pretty big difference. And I think just the general play, the clay definitely slows up the balls more. There's not as many free points. You get a lot of guys playing quite a bit away behind the baseline. Points are longer. The construction is a little bit different. So I go out there and I try to play my game, but you definitely have to look to change one or two things. Last year I was the first out of main draw, and on the Friday I got into Munich, so we actually flew off on the Friday. So I've been here twice, but it's the first time I'm playing. But there's some fantastic courts. The little mini center court is one of the best courts I've seen. The atmosphere is great, and it's a really fun tournament. Some good food, and still in the tournament, so that's always a good thing.